Welcome back, guys. This is Shrikant. This is day 14 of our series Learn SQL Server in 60 days. So today we are going to start one of the important topic in SQL Server, which is store procedure. In MySQL, store procedure also named as a routine. So what is store procedure? First of all, store procedure is a is an object in a SQL Server which has the statement, right, which has a tsql statement basically, and which are a compiled object. So let's say first time you are running query, you are running a store procedure, right? Then at the first time it get compiled and it gets stored. So next time onward, whenever you call that procedure, you next time or it won't get compiled if there is no change, right? So these are having a block of a pre-compiled statement. So what can I write in a store procedure? You can write any business logic of your business which follow the TSQL rules. So basically store procedure is nothing but a block of a statement, stored block of TSQL statement, right? Let's say you have a code which is almost 10,000 line of code. Let's say your company is very big and it has a lot of complicated business rules. So the overall number of TSQ statement in a code is almost 1000 or 10,000 for example. So let's say you want to call that particular business logic in a 10 times. So what you need to do, you need to copy those statements, you need to paste those statements wherever we are going to call that business logic, right? So if you'll observe carefully, unnecessary, this is a redundant code. Every time you need to copy paste and carefully you need to see that this code is not breaking anywhere. So the best solution for such kind of situation, right? The best solution for this kind of situation is storing those all business logic at a one place and name it as something. So that something name is called as the store procedure name. So you just need to do what? Whenever you need those business rules to be called, you just need to pass the name of a procedure. Whenever you will pass the name of a procedure and along with the parameter if it has, then it will give the same result, whatever the result you will be getting with that business logic. So store procedure is very important as per the DBA perspective, as a developer perspective. So if you join any company as a fresher, then what happened? Previous code be written in a procedure. So you need to be uh, very clear about the maintenance part. So mostly for fresher guys, company give the maintenance task. So mostly the code has been written in a store procedure. So you need to be able to understand first what is store procedure. Then only you can be able to understand and be able to fix the problem in the code. So as a developer, as a DBA, or as a fresher, it's necessary to learn the store procedure. So let's see how we can see the store procedure. And one important thing, I said the 10,000 line of code, right? So it can be a two line of code. So if whenever you need to we have condition like a same code need to be called again and again, again and again, then it's better to have the store procedure name, right? Okay, so I'll now show you where we can see the store procedure section. So first of all, you need to connect to your SSMS SQL Server Management tool. Then you need to connect to your respective server. Here you can see my server name, right? In previous video, we have talked about the SSMS. So those guys who are new to it, just go back and see our videos regarding the connecting to the SQL Server. Great. Now here we can see this server section. So in the server there are the databases which we have. So I have created a lot of databases for my testing purpose. I can select any procedure, any database, and I can right click on it and go to the new query section. Right. So there are two ways we can create a stored procedure. The first way is by TSQL, another way is by the GUI. Now I'm going to show you how we can write a procedure first. So let's say I have a statement like select one and I'm naming it as ID, then Shrikant, I am naming it as a name, right? So when I select this statement and when I run this statement, I'll get the output like ID and the Shrikant. So let's assume this statement is a single statement and I want to convert into the stored procedure. So how I can do that? You just need to follow the syntax like create procedure. First I will show by TSQL, then I will go to the GUI way. So I'll show you create procedure and then you need to pass the name of procedure. I'm giving the MySP test one. Then you need to write something like is whatever the statement you have. Those statements need to be written into in between the begin and the end. So here I'm just passing the one statement, but if you have the business logic which needs to be written in a multiple statement, multiple TS statement, you can write it here. So this is my procedure, store procedure. It is not having any name, so right now it doesn't require it, right? Now what are we going to do? We are going to execute this statement. Now we can carefully see the command completed successfully. So copy this one. Next question, how can I run the store procedure? You need to write exec name of a procedure, then select it and run it. When you run this statement, you will get the output, right? Now I can see I have just passed the name of a procedure and I got the output as a ID and the name. Great. Now if the requirement got changed and instead of one name I need to pass a multiple row, right? So is it possible to modify a code once it is created? Yes, you can do it. So for that, what you need to do? You need to do a simple change here. Instead of create a procedure, you need to alter the procedure and then select the entire body of a procedure, then run it. When you run it, the body, you will see the message command completed successfully. Then again come back here and run it. You will see now this procedure is returning me 3 rows because I just altered one. So first one is Shrikant, second Shrikant 2, Shrikant 3, right? So in this way we can create a procedure, and let's assume this procedure is having a requirement that I need to pass some parameter to it for constructing some code in it. Let's say you have order table and you need to filter the data based on a order date. So you need to pass a start and end order date. So likewise you can pass anything. So I'm giving one test parameter here. Let's say whatever you are going to define, in a SQL variable we need to start with always at the rate v1 and you need to pass its data type is int. Then this v1 I am writing here v1, then +1 +2. What we need to do, we need to alter the code down. Just select it and run it. Now I want the output, so what I'll do, I'll go and statement, go and run the query. Now if you'll observe the message carefully, what you'll see, the procedure expect the parameter v1 because we just added it, but we have not passed anything, right? So what are we going to do? We are passing the parameter value. So you can see the 1 2 3 ID has changed. Let's say I want to start the ID with 2 3 4. So I just need to pass a 2. So you will see 2 3 4. If I pass instead of 2 3, so what will happen? So when I run this query, I'll see here 3 4 5, right? The output is changing dynamically, so I just need to pass the value. So let's try to understand what is store procedure. Store procedure is having the block of a TSQL statement which follow the TSQL rules, correct? And this is a stored object. So as it is a stored object, so it is a compiled object. So first time when we call, that time only the execution plan will be created. Second time onward it uses those execution plan if it doesn't have the parameters. If it has a parameter, then parameter snipping and a lot of things are there. We'll talk about one by one, but at this moment just try to understand what is procedure, what it contains, and how we can call it, right? So this three things are very important. So if you want to create the procedure, just follow this syntax, and if you want to call the procedure, follow this syntax. Right. Awesome. So this is a way we have seen that how what is procedure and how to create it by TSQL code. Now what are we going to do? We are going to create a procedure by GUI. So go to your respective database. When you will go to your database, you will see there is a section called as a programmability. Click on programmability. Then there is a section called as store procedure. Click on it. When you will click on a store procedure section, you will see all the procedure which are there in your system. So you can see there are two procedure right now in my system because I only created two. But just now I created one mysp underscore test1. Now I'm going to show you how we can create this procedure by GUI. So go to the store procedure, right click on it, then go to the new store procedure. At the moment when you click on the store procedure, you will see the structure, right? So this is the best way and this is the easiest way for a fresher to start with, but I started with the TSQL. Just want to show you that that technique is also not much difficult, right? So here you will see carefully what it has. So first of all, it has given me the name of a procedure. Sorry, it has given me the create, then procedure, right? What we have just discussed. Then name of procedure. Just change the name of procedure as per your requirement. I'm changing as my sp test2. Then follow the rule. Parameter, does it has any parameter? No, it is not having any parameter, so I'm not passing any parameter here. So it has something like set no count on. I will talk about it one by one. So right now forget about it. Now you just need to do what? Just need to give your statements here. So I am giving statement like select GUI sp and output as a name, right? So this is a simple procedure I am going to create. So I need to select all the code. I need to click on execute. When I click on execute, I'll see the message that command completed successfully. Now tell me, how can I call this procedure? So for calling procedure, we just need to type exec and the name of a procedure. If it is having any parameter, then we need to pass the parameter. If it doesn't, then just simply pass the name of it. Also, if you are just for running it for testing purpose, you can just select the name and you can run the command. But if you are having a multiple procedure which need to be called one by one, then you need to mandatorily use exec before it. Okay, now in this one you can see this is my second sp, this is my first sp. Now I have only passed only one parameter. Let's pass the another parameter. I am passing v2. At data type I am again giving as an int, correct? So I am going to show you how I can add the multiple parameter. So just right here, right? This is just simple business logic. Run it and let's see the output. What happens if I pass 1? What will happen? So now again I got the error. What is it? I am getting a message that v2 is not passed, so you need to pass v2. Right, 333. Now the next thing is that can I pass the string varchar value to it? Yes, you can. Parameter can be of any data type. So v3, this is varchar of 100. So I added a third parameter. What I'm going to do, I'm going to use it and I'm replacing it here. Now select entire code, execute it. Now if you'll come here and we'll see here how many parameters it has. It has 3 parameters, v1, v2, v3, but we are passing 2. But sometimes what happens, sometimes we don't need to pass, so you can use it as a default. So if you are passing any default value, then in that case you don't need to pass the parameter value. It will always take the default value, right? Now if I'm coming here and if I'm selecting this statement and I'm going to run, will I get an error or not? Let's see. We won't get any error because we are assuming that if we won't pass any parameter value for the third parameter, it will be taken default one, so no need to worry about it. But let's assume we remove the default value here. This default value can be anything. Instead of name, it can be Ramesh. Now in the output you can see the value second row is null, and now I executed the code, and if I am running it I will see that default value will be there because I am not passing anything, right? This one. Now again one more thing, instead of passing the default value I am removing it. Let's see what happens. Will this code work again? Or will I get an error? I'll get an error that the v3 is not passed. So here I need to pass explicitly Ramesh. So when I click and I'll select it, I'll execute it, I'll get an result that Ramesh is the second value, right? So this is simple. To be honest, a stored procedure is very simple. There is nothing rocket science in it. Just the thing you need to remember, you should be able to write a TSQ statement, and those block of TSQ statement you need to wrap it somewhere. You need to wrap it in one object, and that object is called as the stored procedure. And if you want to call it, you just need to pass the name of it and the parameter if it has. If it is not having any parameter, then you just need to simply pass the name of a stored procedure. Great. So let's talk about a few things here in GUI. So in GUI now you can see 3 SPs has been created. If you click on any of the SP, you will see the few section called as a parameter. So when you come and when you see the parameter here, you can see as it is not having anything. Now let's talk about this because we modified it here. If it is not having any, we just give you the return things, right? So for this one we are having a 3 parameter, and it is the default which always shows us return value. Perfect. So hope you guys understand what is store procedure, where I can find it, how I can create it, how many ways we can create the store procedure, right? That is from a TSQL and the GUI. Correct. So in the next version I will show you the different thing in a store procedure, that how we can write a good store procedure, which thing we need to think about, which thing we need to follow for writing the store procedure, and do we need to use the transaction, or a lot of things. So hope you like and enjoyed our video regarding the part 14 of our series Learn SQL Server in 60 days. Please let us know your feedback about it, and don't forget to comment on the comment section. That will help us to improve ourselves, and that will help us to add more videos, so that those videos will definitely useful for the others who in need of it. And thanks for watching it, and have a great day.